What is going on YouTube? Headed back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we're going to be looking at Litecoin, Bitcoin, Ethereum, as well as XRP to US dollar. We're also going to be looking at the current coin market cap. As you can see here, markets are down and we are just starting to correct back down to the downside, which is absolutely crazy and something we should definitely be taking advantage of. And I'll be explaining in today's video how we could actually make profit off of a correction in the market. When we're in red, there are two options available. Obviously, buying at the bottom in hopes that we go long the next day, or actually being able to short the market, and as we correct lower, we can actually profit off of movements like this. So some huge updates are going to be coming. Definitely make sure to stick around, watch the video to the end, because you don't want to miss out on these huge opportunities of capitalizing off your gains. We are also going to be looking at, like I said, DueDEX, checking out how exactly we could short and make profit off of these coins, as well as discussing the recent correction we're starting to see in today's market. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and remember to check out and follow me on Twitter at CryptoVOfficial. This way you guys can stay up to date with all the recent polls, trends, new articles, and news information that is happening within the market, as well as a great way to get into contact with me and basically to share your opinions and your recent technical analysis findings. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. So yesterday, we left off in a very interesting predicament. As you guys can see, XRP, Ripple, and Bitcoin will set new all-time highs for 2020. That's what we discussed. This was all dependent on where we break today's video, or yesterday's market, or basically which side we decide to move to. Now, I still am fairly long cryptocurrency in regards to the fact that I do think we are going to still be headed up in 2020. I just believe that we are going to see the short-term correction right now. As you can clearly see in the thumbnail, we have two options ahead. Clearly, as we separated ourselves from this resistance and uptrend with this funnel, this outwards funnel forming right now, you'll notice that we had these two options available. Pump or dump is what we were anticipating. Obviously, the dump is happening right now. So it was something we discussed in length in yesterday's video, and we are starting to now see which direction it was. I said in yesterday's video I wasn't very weary on buying in that very moment, but I was setting up two positions of affirmation as to which way we would be heading up. If we broke above 10.5 or 10.350 on Bitcoin, that's when I was going to be buying in. And if we broke below 9,500, there was a very high chance we would correct all the way down to levels that we're seeing right now, even as low as $8,800. So we are going to be discussing this in great length. But to jump into the technical analysis, you can see top 10 cryptocurrencies. Everything is in red for the most part. We're down, I would say, on average about 5% today. We don't really look too bad though, but this dump is happening and it is starting to sync with the other cryptocurrencies. You can see top 5 are all in sync right now with the way the markets are moving. Litecoin is also following that. We're just not seeing it within Tether, which is pretty much what we expected for the most part. But the other cryptocurrencies are pretty much in sync with Bitcoin. So that means we should be checking out Bitcoin's article. Now, if you guys are interested in learning my trades and learning how I actually profit off of movements like this, definitely make sure to check out my Patreon. It is linked in the description below. We have specific tiers set up for those of you who are interested in XRP, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin, or if you're interested in multiple ones, this is the great opportunity and a great way not only to support the channel, but as well as being able to make money and profit off of specific trades before I even mention it on YouTube. Because as you guys know, if you have me already on Patreon, we were discussing the fact that this short was definitely going to happen. And now that we are shorting, we are currently invested into this and we are shorting the market downwards because we are anticipating a run as low as we anticipate anywhere from $9,100 all the way down to $8,800. Very good chance we're going to see that break. The fact that we just broke out of this upwards trend or this upwards channel within Bitcoin, very high chance we're going to drop fairly low. You can see on DueDEX though, for those of you interested in actually shorting the market right now, for the most part, I recommend using DueDEX. DueDEX seems to be the only website that I pretty much trust in regards to shorting Bitcoin specifically. We can't yet do the other cryptocurrencies, but when they do add the other cryptos, which they are, we will obviously be trading and shorting those as well. But obviously with a leverage trade of 10 times, we can actually short the price now that we have confirmed broken the $9,500 resistance, or sorry, the $9,500 support support. Very, very, very high chance we're going to be falling down to around $8,800 to $8,900 very soon. So with that being in mind, you guys should definitely be considering shorting the coin, because that's specifically what I'm doing. Obviously, I'm no financial advisor, so take this info with a grain of salt or for educational purposes, and consider that this is a risky business and there is risk involved with playing around with crypto. Don't invest anything you're not comfortable with losing, and there's a very good chance with that, if you understand that I am going to be shorting this coin down to about $8,800, expecting to see that dip before we see any sort of confirmation of a swing to the upside. You can also see, if we're checking out DueDEX's trends, we do have some sort of bearish downtrend right here. We are starting some sort of channel. This is definitely something of interest. You can see right here as drawn that there is a clear downtrend now forming. Good chance we'll spiral this downwards all the way to $8,800 before we see any sort of recovery in the market. Otherwise, to jump into the other cryptocurrencies for discussion, Litecoin, one of the coins that is now starting to break outside of its support. It's now just starting to break its support. We have this clear uptrend where higher lows are being set. The previous higher low was at 68, and we're currently retesting that. Good chance we're going to be breaking downwards through that, obviously probably falling down to its $61 support before it decides to move back upwards. The fact is, there is a downtrend happening. We're breaking bearish from here, and we are starting to fall. That's what the problem lies. So specifically within Litecoin, it seems to be not having much of a movement just yet, but there's a good chance we should be seeing movement more within Litecoin in the near future. As Bitcoin starts to head back lower, it should probably pull Litecoin down with it. More specifically, I want to focus on Aetherium. I feel like this is one of the coins that I really want to discuss with you guys today. So as we know, in yesterday's video, we were discussing that we did hit a recent resistance up here in this opening funnel. And you'll notice that we were trending inside of what appears to be a very strong sideways channel. Now, notice in the past, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, almost 5 days now of different candles with wicks forming below the support, and then we eventually rallied back up. There's a chance that we could still rally back up and get above the $255 support. If we don't, and we close today's candle below here, there is an extremely high chance with this bearish crossing on the MACD that we're going to extend all the way back down to about 225, retesting this bottom support here. So with that being said, a short, expecting to see the market dip down to here following Aetherium, is definitely a likely scenario. And specifically, if you're holding Aetherium, you may want to consider buying back in when we retest this bottom support right here, expecting and anticipating the market to go long very soon. So after that, obviously we're still in this upwards channel, which will in the long term extend us up into newer highs come 2020, but short term, a small correction to the downside is definitely necessary and is in full effect right now for the market. So there's a very good chance we're going to start to experience that at the current moment. Now, to wrap things up with XRP, a coin that had some very interesting movements right now. Yes, the past couple of days, I have been slightly adjusting my uptrend right here to kind of help position ourselves with the price. And as expected, or not as expected, but as shown, we have clearly broken a clear resistance and have actually decided to topple over and fall down to lower levels. Clear channel right here that's forming, clear resistance up top. We were not able to break through that. And the confirmation of breaking any point in this uptrend right here, this white uptrend, as mentioned in yesterday's video, would be a confirmation of a correction back down to its high-low MMA, clearly said in yesterday's video, so definitely check that out. And obviously, especially now that we broke through here, it was guaranteed to pull back down to its high-low middle moving average, down to its 25-cent resistance, or sorry, 25-cent support. There's a very good chance we could even pull down to 24 cents before seeing any sort of movement upwards. What is interesting to me is that Bitcoin is not yet at that level, unlike XRP, so it is possible that this could be the bottom for XRP right now. I'd be very shocked if we actually break below the high-low MMA and head lower, but it seems like XRP was affected more at a greater volume than the other cryptos. Bitcoin only down 3%, while XRP is down 5.5%. So it makes sense why we're seeing more of that movement now, but that may be the end of what appears to be happening within XRP, and we may start to see Bitcoin and the rest of them start to catch up and pull back down to the $8,800 support that we have opened right now. So specifically, if you guys were interested, what I plan on doing is shorting the market down to about $8,800, and then obviously capitalizing off those gains, leverage trading. Now, if you guys wanted to take advantage of DueDEX, there is a link in the description below. You guys have been absolutely killing it on Patreon. We're at over 30 patrons at a total of, we're trying to reach 100 on there. We have totally revamped the Patreon website, so I highly recommend you check that out. It offers some great information that is not offered on YouTube, so definitely check that out. It's going to be freaking crazy. Otherwise, though, that is going to wrap up today's video. If you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, leave a giant thumbs up, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Peace.